What is up, people of the world? This is your host, Sweet T. I am joined this week by Saif. Welcome, everybody.
It is November 22nd, 2024. 61 years since Ted Cruz's father killed JFK. And me and T are live and in the building. What up, world? What up to the people of Norway? Thank you for the memories. Thank you to those City of Phoenix employees driving around on carts out there. We love you. We appreciate y'all.
They were convention center employees. Convention center employees.
They deserve a shout out. We didn't get their name, but
they will forever be remembered.
Yeah.
Now immortalized in this podcast.
We have to pay that forward. We have to pick up hitchhikers. We have to pick up hitchhikers.
Right.
Say that 5 times fast.
So we encountered these women downtown, these lovely women that gave us a ride.
November Nights.
And this was, yes, because we were attending November Nights. It was the inaugural
music festival downtown Phoenix. We're on the scene. This was on on the 16th of November, downtown Phoenix. This is
like an all-day thing.
An all-day thing from 2 p.m. till 11.
Yeah. So we checked out midway through to go grab a bite to eat, and these ladies, they made our journey much quicker. Yeah. It was great.
We missed Revolution as a result, but it's okay because we wanted to get food. Well, no, that's not all we're trying to get. We're trying to get
food and drugs. But we did see the Violent Femmes, most of their set, right?
Thank you. And you were hustling to try to get us there because we were...
I heard they had some issues at the beginning of that first song anyway, so...
Oh, the sound.
Yeah.
There have been some complaints about the sound regarding the Violent Femmes set.
Third Eye Blind sound muffled to me. I don't know if that's just the sound they were going for or...
That's what I was thinking that was the sound. I was like, why are you... But we needed a better sound. We needed some uplifting.
Right. But we did get Sublime.
Oh.
That was a treat. Talk about uplifting. I think the crowd was pretty stoked, right? Couple people in our section lit up as the set started.
Trying to remember
two dudes in front of us that just sparked their joints.
You were that brought you so much joy. I'm surprised you didn't try to smoke it with them.
It's great. They were passing it around to the people, and I was going to see if it made its way over. I was going to partake, but I wasn't in their posse, so it is what it is.
I'm trying to remember Bradley Noel's son's name.
Jacob, right?
Jacob. Thank you, Jacob Noel. Wow.
Yeah. They put on a pretty good performance, and then everybody left before Weezer could even come out.
They were the odd part of the card, I guess. I don't.
I had a good time.
Do you think Third Eye Blind and Weezer are comparable?
No, I don't think any of those bands belong together. I don't know what the vibe they were going for was, because it seemed like it was going to be that type of reggae like feel, with Revolution and Sublime. But then you have Weezer and you've got Third Eye Blind.
I would describe Violent Femmes as it's a form of punk rock for me.
Yeah, the whole thing was out of control.
Sublime is ska, punk, rock. Right. Weezer, what is Weezer? Help me understand this.
Weezer, I guess, is in the pop punk realm, kind of. Maybe. Little more poppy, I guess.
And Third Eye Blind isn't that.
I don't know what the fuck Third Eye Blind is.
I would say it's pop rock as well.
It's something. Well, they're hits, sure. But what about the rest of it? What was all that other stuff?
My apologies, Third Eye Blind. I know nothing about you.
No, yeah, we're all clueless. We're all in the dark.
I didn't think you were a good fit here in the desert with your set. I think if you switch it out, you throw Violent Femmes and then Sublime, and then what Weezer. I don't know why you do Weezer. Is Weezer?
I don't know.
Well, T, this could have been you. At some point, you need to get up there and start sharing your music.
Working on it. Been working on some music lately. Well, not lately, but earlier in the year, I was definitely on it. I I know a variety of instruments, but none of them I have a particular mastery over whatsoever. So I can play a piano, a guitar, a bass guitar, what have you.
Cowbell?
I
Can you do cowbell?
Yeah, right. Well, with these MIDI keyboards, you can simulate like an entire drum kit. So I'm sitting here being able to play the drums and create all sorts of loops and stuff doing that. So you can create all sorts of different music. So my objective is to create an album of 12 songs that are completely different. Just 12 different genres.
That's
so
how they
like
do it these days.
So
yeah.
like a rap one. Well, no. It seems like each artist now will do like a full country album or something, like Beyonce did, right?
Where it flows and it makes sense, tells a story.
But I'm not going to do a whole country. I'm not doing any country songs.
Tell your story through your music.
Well, I do see, and we'll dive into that. Just regarding this concept, though, it's more just like a taste test, right? Try a bunch of different things, see what lands.
Maybe we can get you on with Emby Alexander.
Well, long way to go before any of that. Like I said, I had to take some time off for medical reasons this summer, so.
You want to tell that story?
No, I don't. No, I don't. But
we had an episode where we took you to get your eyes fixed. What? That was a callback. that was a LASIK episode. Maybe it was like 101.
Yeah, who knows?
Dick Torso goes to the clinic.
That was a November episode, though, if I recall correctly. So similar timing, just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So with music, though, yeah, I feel like there's a lot that can be said through music, right? So you asked me, don't I want to share my story? And it's like, I do. I don't necessarily know if this first album is like a storytelling album. It's more, like I said, a taste test. And there will obviously be messages in each individual song. But as a collaborative piece, I don't think that's what it should be viewed as, right? So if you listen to each song, there should be messages taken from them, some significant, some more personal and intimate, right? But I think, at least this is my interpretation as somebody that loves music and wants to create music and tell a story and pass a message through music, is that everybody is trying to do that, or at least everybody that is creating music is trying to do that, right? They have something they want to share, and this is the medium that seems to fit them. It seems they can communicate with the world best through these rhythms, these lyrics, these beats, etc. And I wanted to kind of dive into that and how that has changed over the years, how that sound has changed over the years, and everything from a macro and micro perspective, right? Because you think back to like classical music, right? Like we think about that, but that's not the origin of music. Music's existed for millennia.
And our ability to record it was always passed down orally, apparently. Hopefully both ways, you know what I mean?
Well, that's where the introduction of writing music becomes such a huge thing, right? So a lot of these composers then can write their pieces down. It's just another language, right? It's just it's just compare it to a language. You can copy it repeatedly and you know what it means. These markings on this paper in this order correlate to this sound.
Based on this language, this musical language they created.
Mm-hmm.
Created a musical language, so we were able to actually record it. There's record. But how far back the music goes and what forms it took on, I mean, there's been a lot of places where some of those histories are lost, depending on who was burning down the facilities. Shout out to the Spanish here in the southwest of Arizona, removing all the libraries. We are on indigenous land. I think it's always a good reminder to share that. And we respect and honor our tribal members who came before us.
So, a quick bullshit Google search tells me that the first...
Still got Wi-Fi?
All right. The earliest form of musical notation can be found back in approximately 1400 BC. But it's not what we know today. Okay. You know, the typical... if you were to open up a composition book and you see the notes on the graph or whatever the hell it's called. I should know these things. I should know all these terms. But you see, that's the thing. Nobody's going to take me seriously, right?
What are we, entomologists?
But I think it was around the 9th or 10th century AD that modern form started to take shape. And then we were able to record them in a more uniform fashion that we know today. But again, music didn't start there.
Music's in the soul.
Right. And so has that changed over time?
Do you think you think anybody that you're part of a generational tribe of musicians? You felt like it's in your blood?
No. But I feel like every person should be drawn to music in some way, shape, or form. I feel like it's a human thing, like a human experience. And people that aren't into music, I'm like, why? You know, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Like, what's the story there?
Yeah.
But you think back to some of these early forms of music probably involved a lot of drums, right? A lot of heavy beats and stuff like that.
I like that. I like that narrative because it gives like a shout out to Africa.
Right. But also the native tribes here, they demonstrated a lot of drum use as well, right?
I'm trying to remember what I've seen in some of the museums out here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not recalling. I remember we saw the first shoe. You and I were troping around near Blanding, Utah, and we stopped into the museum there. And
I think drums are a pretty universal thing, right? The Vikings had them. Everybody had drums.
At some point, it feels like a thing everybody made, some type of noisemaker,
like pyramids. But that's a different episode. So anyway, but then you move into nobody has any records from the Dark Ages, right? But then you think of these more classical periods, right? Mozart, Beethoven, all that fun stuff, right? And there's a certain sound there. Mm-hmm. And then you move into the ragtime era, and then the 50s, and then the 80s, and then now, whatever we have now. Mm-hmm. So you can see it change over time. And is that reflective of where we're at as a species? Or is it just an ongoing narrative where we're all just kind of copying each other and slowly improvising here and there as we go along, right?
I have something on that.
All right. And so, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's got to be a combination of the two. There's definitely artists that are taking influence from current and past artists and implementing that into new sounds. There's ones that are creating things that we've never heard before, paving the way to new moods, new experiences, new emotions, all sorts of new stories. And I think it's just the culmination of centuries of emotions. But then sometimes I think
maybe just something to do.
Right. I listen to what's on the radio today and I'm like,
so many options now, you know.
I'm like, are we still moving forward? You know, like I'm like, oh shit. I don't know. I feel like we might have plateaued at some time.
It's so, I think the range of our options has expanded musically as well. Since you and I, we grew up listening to things on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And cassette tapes, records, and that was definitive. Then the CD came out, and then the Apple iPod mini, the mini whatever. I own one actually. It's my first Apple product. I won it in a raffle.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I put a whole bunch of good music on it, and gave it to my boy to use for his grocery store job. He used to stack shelves. Now he owns a butcher shop, Traub's Butcher Shop in
Did you get that iPod back?
What's up?
Did you get that iPod back?
No, I gave it to him as a gift, loaded with music. Yeah.
Gotcha. And he has since not returned a
Oh, I never. It was a gift.
Well,
it was a gift.
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Dick Francisco was pissed because Dick Francisco wanted that. I mean, it was a hot item
For sure.
and
I remember my first iPod.
it could hold thousands of songs.
It was game changing.
Post Napster as well. Like once we were getting I was burning CDs like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the computer store and said, "Mom, we're getting this." And I created a mega desk like Dwight Schrute. And started ripping off music. But then that was it. I didn't make any mixtapes. I could have.
Did that kill music as much as they thought it would?
I think it took the artistry out, and then you had a broader range to get your music out there. So everybody was just trying to make one hit.
Yeah.
And they don't really have an identity. And then when their identity does come in, it's automatically influenced through the subversive public relation elements of the big media companies based out of London, New York, Los Angeles that kind of run the industry and impose on us many things, even to the which, we don't even know our own musical history. And sometimes our own history, like where we're coming from.
Right, and that actually leads me to one of our other points. Are we always consciously choosing the music that we're consuming?
No.
Right?
The algorithm got me.
Gave
me Anderson .Paak, and I'm appreciative.
Right.
But now what?
Yeah, so it's like, do you have freedom of choice here? I mean, obviously, you still got
choice. It's consuming. It's overwhelming choice.
Right.
There's multiple industries propped up on these choices. It's just variations of genres of music, because the whole idea is that everybody can get rich becoming a rock star, and you become famous, and your name will live on forever.
Right. So does it influence you, or do you choose how you want to be influenced?
I think a lot of people are trying to be authentic, I think is the word. And whether we're ever authentic, I mean, it's really all about how the story's told about this person. And some people are either confident or cocky, overprivileged, no privilege. And what's your whole story? And how did you get yourself in this position? And oftentimes it feels like the media companies are just, hooking up their brother Greg.
Fucking Greg.
Just oh man. I forgot the HBO show. The one about media. Succession. That was Cousin Greg, Succession. Cut.
Never watched it.
T and I are wilding out on a Friday night.
Yeah, I'm happy that we decided to do this. I am definitely feeling pretty good right now. This is great. I'm just disappointed it took us so long to talk about this again. But that's all right. There's plenty of life ahead here. We got all the time in the world to get to these different subjects. But music, I think, is an important one, and it should be important to everybody. I find myself, there's times where I'm in a certain mood and I want to just throw a song on and just let my emotions out through that song, right? Then there's other times that I hear a song that I've never heard before, and it just evokes all sorts of new emotions. So it's just crazy how diverse and different music is, and how it impacts us all differently. November Nights. You think they're going to do another one?
Every year.
Every year.
Try to make it a tradition?
I mean, I think we can.
Well, the key is just winning the tickets.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep winning tickets. I'm just going to keep winning tickets to everything. Shout out to Alte Z for making my summer. 4 free shows on them.
Yeah. We learned that the Portlandia band, I forgot their name, but they were
Washed out at the Van Buren.
Yeah. Their appearance in this world opened the door for us to go to November Nights. And I am forever appreciative of that because I wanted to go to November Nights,
and we had great seats. We had great seats.
I probably should have hit some people up earlier.
We didn't know till last minute. It's all right.
I should have been on that train from the get-go.
Hey, that's all right. We had great seats. We had a great time, and it led to us doing another episode about music.
No, you've seen a few shows in that stadium now at this point. This is Chase Field. We call it Bank One Ballpark, but it's the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I lost my hearing at Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid. The Lindas played with them as well.
Oh, the Lindas.
Yeah. So I think the last episode that we did, I was getting ready to go to that show. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then we'd also seen Journey and Def Leppard with the Steve Miller Band, which was also great.
Oh, Steve Miller Band.
Throwback.
Yeah. I still think I may have told that story incorrectly, but for the life of me. Yeah, her name, Sarah Orozco. She was the first girl to let me stick my yeah. And I don't know, I think we've talked about this before in original episodes about whether penetration counted.
You're on a whole different tangent now, buddy. This is turning into a Love Files quickly.
Well, considering the date, it should be known that we have a misogynist in the. Well, I've been trying to identify more as a reform misogynist. I feel like, maybe I can get appointed attorney general, or could be anything.
Depends on how you want to identify. We'll get into that in our World War III episode, maybe. We'll see what side America's on.
Trying to be light, right? We're not trying.
Yeah. So, anything more regarding music this week?
Oh, I enjoyed the show.
Likewise.
I don't know about live music as a whole. Still kind of. It's always odd because there's always like this contingent of people who are not dancing or not doing anything, just sitting there, and watching.
Yeah.
And then there's some other half dudes like smoking joints, right? And then I remember I offered some gum to the people around.
Yeah, my gum.
Yes. T had some Trident spearmint flavored. It's one of my favorite flavors.
Extra.
Is Extra is the brand?
Still spearmint. Yeah, spearmint's the flavor to go with.
And a teenage girl took it.
Right.
And her mom was there, and her mom was probably horrified. And I don't know what the end result was, if mom even allowed the kid to chew the gum.
Jesus
but
Christ.
I realized I sensed the tension in the air, and I was offering gum to everybody and then just like yelling at people, gum.
It's not a joint. Like, the people aren't just intrigued with your fucking
that one guy to the right of us, he looked at us. He was pretty drunk.
Oh, yeah. He could have used some gum.
Or something else.
Yeah. He was having a great time, though.
It was like a weird song.
They were one of the ones that left after Sublime, though.
They did. And that's
I don't know if he could have made it through the rest of the night.
He did. Yeah, something was going on there. There was one woman who couldn't even walk. Her legs.
Oh, yeah. Remember trying to get out? They had a wheelchair at the top of the stairs. They're like, just get to the top of this.
They had to bring in the bigger guys to come and just like grab her by the hoofs.
Yeah.
Just carry her.
grab her by the hoofs, grab her by the pussy, just whatever it takes.
Hey,
get her out of here.
All loud now.
Get her out of here.
The gates have opened.
Yeah. She would struggle like up 2 rows and then just crash into whatever open seat was available.
I thought she had it too. They sat her down. She was breathing. She was doing all right. She was on one.
What was great, was the one security guy came down and talked to him, and the dude was just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna hang here, like just ride it out for a little while, you know." And she was not having it. She wanted to make it to the top of those stairs, and it just it wasn't happening.
She got convinced. I think in her mind, she just couldn't make her legs work or function based on whatever state she was in, and it looked like she got up with pep the second attempt, and even
I think she sensed the crowd,
and he offered her the usher offered his arm, and I thought and she got about 3 or 4 steps up, and then she came crashing down.
We've dedicated far too much time to this poor woman. Let's wrap it up.
I don't know who was even playing.
Oh, God.
Is that Weezer?
Yeah, I think Weezer was playing. Yeah, they were trying to beat the traffic, but that wasn't happening. I wonder what happened once she got outside the stadium, because they weren't going to let her have the wheelchair anymore. Right. You know, she's got to walk at some point.
I think they have EMTs on site. I saw them huddled there. I bet they see that all the time, and that's pretty. Oh. How much did you take, and how much water have you had to drink?
Oh my God!
Those are the 2 questions that need to be asked.
Right.
And I thought, I didn't mind sitting in the back, but it's just, I have my space, which I prefer. I don't want to be.
We weren't in the back. I mean, we were in the bottom back row. You're right. Back row.
Nobody impeded our view. If anything, we were just having fun watching people watching.
Yeah, it was great. I liked our spot.
Yeah. There was this lady and her son, and she got mad when these girls came towards the end and started dancing.
I didn't mind.
She yelled at them. And she freaking barked at them.
I didn't mind that, though.
So they moved over to the right.
Oh, yeah.
But I had seen the kid earlier, and he was more enjoying the rap music that was being played by the DJ that was spinning in between the sets. DJ Z-Trip, who apparently was a really big. He made a name for himself, and he's from. I'm trying to remember. He's from New River. Which is, I only know Artie Purcell and this DJ.
There he is.
And Artie was
shout out to DJ Z-Trip.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Yeah, way to keep me on track there. About to go off the rails on Artie Purcell.
So, let us know if you've seen any dope shows this year. I didn't list them all off in this episode. Let us know in the comments.
You said there's an uptick in user interaction?
I have no idea. I'm not tracking anything anymore. I'm a wild card. So shout out to Norway, though. If anybody's listening to Norway, thank you for that.
I have so many Norway stories.
Shout out to anybody that's listening in Phoenix. We appreciate that. Anybody that might have picked up a card working with me recently, we appreciate that. And if you care to interact with us online, you may do so by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
I don't think people want to identify as themselves as fans of our show.
No, I wouldn't either. That's, yeah. But if you care to send us a message on X or anything, you may do so at CTS Terry. Probably not going to see it. I only pop on there monthly to cuss out Elon for something.
I hate the social media part of it.
No, yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst. Thank God we don't have like merch to plug or like any actual sponsors or anything like that.
I think we are just making art, which is a variation of this music.
Mm-hmm.
And as an archive.
Yeah.
With the idea that we still feed Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he better watch out. So thank you for tuning into this episode. We appreciate you listening. And as always, keep trying to catch the sky. Bye.